Hey guys, welcome to the 2 a.m. pipe on the patio with Onion. Sitting out here on the onion patch, and it is 94 degrees out here right now. It is hot. I am smoking my Danish, I can't read it, Danish Club Natural 144. It's made by Stanwell. This was a gift from Kitty Maxboon. And in it, I am smoking my own blend vintage flake. This was a tobacco I got from Lefty Me, Thomas Meldgaard. It's a great tobacco, really good. Sadie and I got a lot accomplished today. Got a big old pile of stuff to get taken to the dump over here. Just stuff we're not going to take with us that's not stuff somebody would probably want. So Goodwill near me is not accepting donations. So called the VFW, and they're not taking donations. All due to the thing. As Uncle Phil calls it, the thing. So yesterday I did a video on heroes, my heroes, and one of my heroes was my dad, and I wanted to just share this little story of my dad that made me so proud of him. There were a couple things that he did that made me really proud of him. My dad was an electrician he worked on all the state bridges in California. He started on the Oakland-San Francisco Bay Bridge, and then he went down and worked on the Vincent Thomas Bridge in San Pedro, Long Beach. And then when the San Diego Coronado Bridge opened up, or was about to open, he came down here. We moved down here, and he worked there until he passed away for 26 years or whatever it was. 16 years, I guess it was. From 69 to 86, 17 years. But he, I'm going to tell this story first. When he was working on the San Diego Coronado Bridge, they used to have a lot of jumpers off that bridge, and one day he saw a guy getting ready to jump, and he stopped his truck and got out and was talking to the guy, and he had radioed it in to the sergeant inside, and the sergeant called the highway patrol. So the highway patrol got there, and my dad was talking to this guy, and the highway patrol was talking to this guy, and the guy turned and was going to jump, and my dad grabbed him, pulled him back over. And the bridge, if you've never seen the San Diego Coronado Bridge, there's no fences or anything. There's just a little guardrail like they have in the middle of freeways sometimes, where, you know, the bike or a car is just supposed to ride up on it, and then it forces them back onto the road. That's all there was. It was just a short, you know, maybe waist high at the most, probably not even that high. But he pulled that guy back over and saved his life. And he received a commendation from the state and from the highway patrol for his heroism. I was very proud of him for that. And then another time that he made me so proud. And my sister had gotten married, my oldest sister, to a guy who was well, the best way to put it would be the guy was a stain, and he used to beat her, and we didn't know it for a long time that he was beating her. But one time she called and talked to my dad and said, "Dad, William's beating me. Can you come and get me and bring me home?" So my dad immediately went and got her and brought her home. A few days later, William comes to the door, banging on the door, screaming and yelling. I was in high school at the time, so I was standing behind my dad with the only weapon I had at the time, which was a wrist rocket with a barrel bearing from a car loaded up in it, ready to go if I needed to sling a bearing at him. But William starts screaming and yelling, making a big scene. And he tells my dad, "I want to talk to my wife." And my dad said, "She doesn't want to talk to you." And he said, "She's my wife." And my dad said, and this was so awesome, my dad said, "She's been my daughter longer than she's been your wife, and she'll be my daughter longer than she will ever be your wife." And I was just so damn proud of that. And then William said, "One of these days I'm going to kick your ass," or something like that. And my dad said, "Well, the only thing stopping you is fear." And my dad had the screen door was closed between the two of them. Well, William took a step forward, and my dad slung that screen door open and went out the door. And William turned and ran, got in his car, and drove away. And my dad came back in, and God, I was just so proud of him. My dad was a pretty big dude. Was about my size right now, and he's a little shorter than me, 5'10", probably 235, 240 at the time. Big man, and would have kicked William's ass if he'd have got a hold of him. But he came back in, and I said, Dad, what would you have done if he hadn't run? And Dad said, I would have kicked his ass. And he said, but he didn't want to fight me. I'm a man. He only fights women. He beats women. He doesn't want to fight a man. And he didn't. He ran. But I was so dang proud of my dad. And my dad fought in World War II. He was a Navy vet. He never really talked about his military service, and but my dad was a Boilermaker when he got out of the military. And then he became an electrician. Got a job with the state of California and worked on all the bridges. From, San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge, Vincent Thomas Bridge, and San Diego Coronado Bridge. And he made me so dang proud though that day. I remember one time mouthing off to my dad and raising my hand to him when I was about 19 years old. And I raised my hand up like I was going to hit him, and he said, "You want to hit me? Come on, let's go." And he started forward, and I started going backwards. And he hit me with one finger in the middle of the chest and knocked me over a couch. And I thought I was, a badass back then. And I was 6 foot tall and 180 pounds at that time. He just one finger to the chest, boom, hit me and knocked me over a couch. I went flying over this couch with one finger. He did that, and I was like, okay, I don't ever want to mess with my dad again. And he was something else. He loved his family, and boy, nobody better mess with his family, That's just the way it was. Especially his daughters. But and one time my dad had a heart attack, and he was in the hospital. And my mom was waiting in the waiting room, and in comes my sister and William. And William has a big gash on his forehead. So my mom asked, "What happened? What happened?" And Shirley said, "Oh, William slipped getting out of the tub and hit his head on the sink in the bathroom." And Well, we came to find out that William was on top of Shirley, beating her. She was laying on the ground. He was on top of her, and he was just punching her. She reached over and grabbed an ashtray stand and hit him on the head with it, knocked him out, and then dragged him to the hospital and told us that he had slipped in the bathroom. But William was a real stain. My dad had open heart surgery. When he came home from the open heart surgery, William called my sister, and said, "I'm gonna come over there and kill your dad." Because he knew Dad just had open heart surgery, you know. So I called my brother-in-law and other sister, and I told them what was going on, and they came over, and my brother-in-law left a gun with me, and he said, "Okay, it's all loaded up and ready to go. All you got to do is pull the trigger. If he comes in here, starts hurting anybody, pick that gun up and pull the trigger." About that same time, a buddy of mine, Bobby, called. Bobby was about 4 years older than me. He loved my parents. He just loved my parents. He loved my sisters, and he just loved my whole family. And Bobby was like my best friend. And I told him what was going on, and so he came over. And he said, "You want me to go over there and take care of him?" Bobby was a fighter. At the time, somebody messed with him. You didn't want to mess with Bobby. And he was a big dude, welder, bigger than me. And you just did not want to mess with Bobby. And Bobby would have gone over there and taken care of William. Just if we'd just said yes, he'd have done it. But we knew William wouldn't do anything. He was too chicken. He was all talk, woman beater. But I ran into him in about 5 years later. I was in a Tower Records, and I walked in, and there's William. We locked eyes, and I just stared at him, and he couldn't exit that building fast enough. It just made me laugh. Never saw him again after that. But I just wanted to share that story about my dad, because it made me so damn proud. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. I love y'all. God bless. God, 20 minutes on this one. Have a good one, guys.